Ever since we've started to get footage, interviews, and impressions about Sonic X Shadow Generations, my hype and excitement is at a level of anticipation I have not felt towards a Sonic game ever. Shadow Generations is doing unprecedented things, and taking a leap into directions I did not think we would see until the next mainline Sonic game. Shadow Gens might just be the blueprint, not Sonic Frontiers, for the future of Sonic gameplay. Let me explain why. The biggest surprise to me in terms of gameplay for Shadow Generation so far is that I did not expect so much of its creative identity to be influenced by Sonic Frontiers. From the control scheme, keeping the cinematic presentation, making the hub world a mini open zone, combat which also seems to take influence from Sonic 06-2 of all games, it's shocking but exciting that Shadow Generation seems to be combining the things that worked from Frontiers with the level structure and style of Generations, and I'm so down for all of it. I love the control scheme with boost on trigger, it feels better in the hands, and it's able to free up the face buttons. I didn't think we'd get to see a new open zone until the sequel to Frontiers, and the reveals that it will have NPCs as well as its excellent aesthetic are already enough. We have that cinematic, bombastic quality from Sonic Frontiers now being brought to every level with insane zone transitions, hype QuickTime event sequences, and a level of expressiveness to Shadow's character model that showcases some of the best in-engine character work in the franchise. Shadow Generations has gotten a ton of comparisons to the Bowser's Fury expansion for Super Mario 3D World on Switch, and I feel that is a really great comparison. Bowser's Fury felt like a fusion of Mario Odyssey and 3D World, but still found ways to feel new and inventive at the same time. I think the same will happen for Shadow Generations. I truly believe the balance between level design, simple but stylish combat, and open zone cohesiveness will set the stage for the sequel to Frontiers to knock it out of the park. And the more I've rewatched footage from Summer Games Fest, my hype grows a little more every single time. Appreciating the new soundtrack remixes, Tomoyo Otani also revealed he is not composing for this game, which definitely surprised me. Whoever is audio director for this game is killing it. Seeing the different paths and routes each content creator took, appreciating the attention to detail on the arc with the doors and enemies like Artificial Chaos, or just how damn cool the entire Doom's Eye chase sequence is, with the also amazing Doctor Strange-inspired kaleidoscope blending of Radical Highway and Westopolis. I think level transitions like this will be a fun curveball they'll do throughout Shadow's campaign. Imagine when you get to Kingdom Valley, you get a chase sequence that splices into another level like Aquatic Base or White Acropolis, but instead now chasing Mephiles leading into his boss fight. With Iizuka revealing that Sonic and Shadow Generation's stories take place at the same time, and that Shadow's levels also will only be from 2001 to 2011, I believe we will get to see Mephiles the Dark return as a villain and boss. The stars align too well. That's another point that excites me about Shadow Gens 2 is the upgrade to boss fights. The updated BioLizard boss shown in the demo is well telegraphed, the new attack phases do a good job of escalating as the fight progresses, and out of everything we've seen so far, we haven't seen any of the Doom powers in action yet. Iizuka highlighted how the Doom powers will not only unlock new paths on level replays, but also your attacks and abilities, and I cannot wait to throw hands on enemies, and I still have my fingers crossed that they have Black Arms enemies in store that we have not gotten to see yet. I love that Shadow, after a decade and a half of neglect, is getting this moment of hype and optimism. Like Sonic himself hasn't even gotten the level of quality treatment Shadow is getting for his half of Generations. That makes me happy for my boy, but equally happy on the precedent this game sets for what's to come. This Saturday, we are getting the panel at Anime Expo for the Dark Beginnings animated short, and I cannot wait to talk about it with you all. Let me know what you think about Shadow Generations so far, and what aspect has you the most excited. We are less than 30 people away from 3,000 subs. Thank you all for the absurd love and support recently. I love you all. Have a blessed one, and I will see you next week to talk about Dark Beginnings.